along to the other reason why we locked down, which is COVID. This week we were allowed to register to be vaccinated if you're over 35. So I've registered. Oleg's registered.
Hey, you should have been vaccinated a long time ago.
Well, you too, dude. Well, why? Are you trying to make some comment about my age?
I'm not throwing stones at glass houses on this stage.
Yeah. Anyway, so got to try and find a place and a slot to go get my first jab.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one are you getting?
What do you mean? What type of vaccine?
Yeah.
What flavor?
I don't
Which
really
flavor?
think you have a choice, dude. Wherever you go, if you take whatever they got.
Okay.
I understand.
Do you want the Chinese, the Russian, AstraZeneca, Pfizer? What do you want?
Well, yeah. Well, I suppose Pfizer is the flavor of the day at the moment.
J&J.
Yeah, well, J&J, but the problem is that it's in short supply. So
Yeah.
how do you find out which vaccine is being administered from which area, which facility? I don't know.
I think the one that you're going to go to is definitely going to have the Chinese one.
Well, here's the question.
I'm joking. Like, personally, right, I really don't care which vaccine I'm going to get. Like,
As long as it's the COVID vaccine
as
and
long
it
as
works.
it's a COVID vaccine and they don't accidentally...
It's not a yellow fever jab.
It's not a yellow fever jab. You know, it's like, I'd be really bleak if, like, I get vaccinated, but with the wrong stuff. But I'm sure that's not going to happen, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and see if I can go either tomorrow.
You can't.
Why?
closed.
It was closed.
Yeah.
Even the hospitals.
Yeah.
Why?
They don't do vaccinations during the weekend, dude. I don't think so. But, like, yeah,
I think that's when they want to do it, but they're not just
they're doing it
locking
during the
down
week.
because of
Okay.
the other unrest.
Because I'm staying next to the hospital, and I think tomorrow is closed. But
Okay.
I'll double check and let you know, because I was planning to go tomorrow.
Yeah. Because I know some of the pharmacies are doing it as well. Clicks,
Yeah,
if they've got stock.
but only specific clicks. Like,
Yeah, the clicks at Brightwater
Cresta.
Commons.
And
No, the one at Crest is doing it, but
Yeah.
they're out of stock. Discam at Crest is not doing it, but the clicks at
Brightwater Commons.
yeah, what's it? Ferndale on Republic or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it. But I don't know. I'll just pop in there and just have a chat and see what the 411 is.
So
Uh,
Monday, all our restrictions get lifted in England. Not the same necessarily in Scotland and Wales, although they have lifted by and large. So we effectively are back to normal on Monday.
Yeah, well, I was watching Wimbledon last weekend, the finals, and very, very few people were wearing masks. Only the sort of like the staff
Yeah.
were.
Well, those that support bubbles, yes.
Yeah.
But it was one of those events, I think, that was a test event, like the football was last weekend,
Yeah.
where we started bringing more and more people into the stands and monitoring, because there's a lot of track and trace happening around that. So they're monitoring how the outbreaks and what happens.
Yeah.
And so we've been increasing people. So Wimbledon is one of those events that there's also a test event to see what happens. But yeah, Monday. No more face masks, so social distancing.
Yeah.
They recommend that you kind of take precautions, but there's nothing mandatory. There's no limit on people gatherings. This is it. Pandemic's over.
Yay, baby.
Okay, and I'm going to say yesterday we had 51,000 new
1,000.
cases of COVID, and this is expected to go to 100,000 a day next month.
That is insane.
Oh my word.
That is insane.
It's
But I
gone
mean,
the other-
but
I
the
think we talked
assumption
about
is, the assumption is that these people that get it aren't really going to get that sick.
Well, friends of mine who've been double vaccinated had COVID this week. They still got ill, had to take a few days off work. They're not hospitalized, and I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
We were worried about people who are going to get critically ill and overwhelm the hospital services. And at the moment, yes, the COVID wards are filling up again. But yesterday we had 49 deaths. Considering we got 50,000 new cases a day, 49 deaths is not a lot.
It's
Yeah.
0.01%.
Yeah, serious and critical conditions, 551. What was the day before? pretty much the same numbers. I mean, it might fluctuate by 10 or 20 people, but yeah, the rates are increasing, but we're not overwhelming the health service.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. So maybe there is something, but and I was having this discussion at work this week because we're having people whose kids are at school, and those somebody in the kid's class gets tested positive, so therefore the parent and the kid have to then go and self-isolate. So hang on, all these critical facility engineers that we need on site at our facilities now have to self-isolate, and it's hurting us. You know, half of our staff are sitting at home twiddling their thumbs. We can't afford this. So the knock-on effect is, yeah, we're getting things back to normal, whatever that is. But we as a company are not changing our measures. We're still going to protect people and have those. We're not rushing back to the office. We're still going to work remotely for those who can. And we're not alone. So I don't know what normal is yet. And I'm sure we'll touch base on this in the coming weeks again.
So,
but it's scary. We can't afford people just to be off sick for a few days.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. So there's an interesting observation that I made yesterday during the conversation with my sister. With my sister. It's like, I haven't been sick. I haven't taken any sick leave. For the last 2 years. Like, because I haven't been sick. I took leave, like, just to mentally relax and, like, just, get away from work and do something else. But I haven't actually taken any sick leave in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, touch wood. Because I haven't been sick either.
I haven't been sick. And that's that is so rare. I've virtually never had that happen. So, like, even after, let's just say we go back to relative normal, I'm still going to wear a mask in public transport. Right? Going through the airports, in an airplane, I'm going to wear a mask because it's like, I don't need this stuff. I remember when I used to travel, I used to get sick so often, and it's mainly from, passing airports, hotels, it's like,
Brothels, Where are you coming into close contact with people all the time?
Don't put your lifestyle on me.
So, I mean, there's an interesting point. I was chatting to someone in Canada the other day, and they were saying that they were talking about vaccine passports. And apparently, to get into a strip club in Toronto, you need to have to produce your vaccine passport to get into the strip club.
Do you get a vaccine passport? Like, just
so basically, it's like, I mean, I think we were talking about it last week.
What is it? Like, is it a piece of paper?
I suppose, well, Less Than Them said that it's they've got an electronic thing.
Yeah, they got an app.
Yeah.
They got an app for everything. They got an app for NHI. They got an app for, like...
They got an app for an app.
They got an app for an app.
Yeah.
But it's a 3D barcode.
Yeah. So what? They can scan it and say,
yeah.
Okay.
It says when I was vaccinated, what flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So but there's an interesting fact. You need a vaccine passport to get into a strip club in
It's
Canada.
becoming a problem here because there is still that portion of the population that don't believe in COVID-19 or the vaccination or anything to do around it. So they're not getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
Okay? But the government is pushing that you can't get on a plane unless you've had your shots and have had COVID or something like that. But they're getting to the point of you need this check done for various things. And it's going to spread far and wide into every little thing. So it's going to you can't go to the pub without proving you've had your shot. So it's now going to be against their human rights that they chose not to have a vaccine, but now they're being, excluded from normal life. You can't go to this shop, you can't go to the cinema, you can't do this, that, and the other thing. And they're going to be restricted, and it's a pressure on them to go and get vaccinated, otherwise they can't carry on with life. This is coming. This is already coming. There is already a lot of talk around this.
Isn't that already, in a certain sense of the way? It's like, it's... I mean, there's most likely going to be some room for people who are not vaccinated, like like a vaccinated individual traveling from South Africa to UK, right? They will basically just go through and be fast-tracked, whereas unvaccinated individual will have to quarantine at the quarantine hotel for like a week and stuff like that.
Even if you've been vaccinated, you have to quarantine.
Yeah.
I think you guys, yeah.
No, well, that mate of mine who's in Poland,
Yeah.
he's going back to work in the UK.
Yeah.
Soon. He said that when he goes, he has to go into quarantine, and then when he comes back to Poland in December,
he has to quarantine again.
Yeah, but he can isolate at home.
Yeah.
I think that's changing on a weekly basis.
Is it changing?
I think you said he was coming back in August.
Yeah.
I mean, these the traffic light system that we have, so you can go and have a look on the government website which countries you can go to without quarantine, with quarantine, or
so they're like flashing like this all the time.
Yeah, they review it every week. So
yeah,
I suspect
by the time he goes, he might not have to do it.
Well, yesterday
I hope so.
We put France on our list again. So all these people who
I'm surprised you don't have France on your list permanently.
No comment.
and you on theirs.
We actually dispatched a guy from the UK to Frankfurt yesterday. So there's a lot of us who need to get over to the continent for work, because I won't go to that. But so we dispatched this guy, and we're kind of having a look to see how it went. So he did say he had 2 hours at Heathrow of queuing and filling in forms and producing evidence, and yeah. So all the prerequisites you need to travel are quite a pain in the arse, and it's now an extra schlep in the travel. So I'm yet to hear what happened when he got to the Frankfurt side. I know he got there, but I'll find that out on Monday. But if it's going to be this kind of schlep, where you have to get an airport for a short haul trip, if you have to get to the airport 5 hours in advance because of the volume of people that need to process paperwork,
stay at home. Stay at home. Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
How urgent is this work? Oh, it is quite. So South Africa, you've gone now into a bit of a lockdown. You're saying, what's your?
Well, we had level 4, and then we had a
level 4 plus,
and then it was adjusted. Yeah. So, what restaurants are open?
Restaurants
Still no
are open,
alcohol though.
Still no alcohol, but you can basically go have dinner at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So you're doing about 16,000 new cases a day at the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to your numbers, you just the assumption is people are vaccinated now. They've reduced the measures, and there's a bit of an explosion there, but the deaths are down.
Yeah, we're going into school holidays, so I think they're expecting a mass spread while the schools are off their summer break. So by the time they resume, it'll be coming to an end. Everybody's had not just been vaccinated, but also strengthen their resistance by actually having it. And they're just expecting the spread to stop. That's the outlook I have.
Yeah.
I'd rather not get sick. Going back to your point, I haven't been sick either, other than poxy hay fever. They were talking this morning that it's time they're going to start ramping up the flu vaccination cycle, which they do every year for the elderly and other vulnerables. So they normally do that once a year, but normally it's a top up, right? So obviously flu variants also change and evolve. Because 25,000 people a year die in this country from flu. This is why they're trying to do all this vaccination to protect the vulnerable. Anyway, the point here is, I don't think there were top ups last year, and because we've not been mixing as we normally do. Is the vaccine that we're now going to give out for the flu, is it going to be strong enough? We kind of lost track of what the flu viruses are doing.
But I mean, do you think because of the lockdown and the measures that have been put in place because of COVID, normal traditional seasonal flu has not mutated because of the fact that people haven't been infected by it?
Maybe it's actually thrived in the environment that COVID's been flourishing.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think that if anything, the next flu vaccine doesn't have any very few changes to it.
Yeah.
If you know what I
There
mean.
we go.
New
Is it going to be
updates.
effective? Well, yeah, time will tell.